One world, your station.
Dino Morea, Kunal, and Drashti, great to see you guys. I hope the family and you are safe and healthy, and you've all got at least one vaccine. Kunal?
Yes, I've got both.
I've got both.
Dino? Two. Two's company. That's really nice.
Ganga Jamuna now.
Yeah. Kunal, I know you're a voracious reader.
Saraswati, we'll also have to go the third one, the booster.
Yeah, but if there's a booster shot, it becomes Ganga Jamuna Saraswati. You're right. So, Kunal, I've had these wonderful conversations with you, I think during Noblemen when, we talked about Shakespeare and how much you read and things like that. So I know that you read, you're a voracious reader. Tell me about the books. I believe The Empire is adapted from a series of books and it's written by Alex Rutherford. Only that Alex and Rutherford are not one person.
Yeah. And not called Alex Rutherford.
And not called Alex Rutherford at all. You want to just give me a background on that?
Well, yeah, they're a very interesting series of books on the rise and the eventual, I think, fall of the Mughal Empire. And I found, coincidentally, I had read the book a couple of months back before I was even offered the show. And I found it to be a very, very interesting book for multiple reasons. One, the characters were very interesting. It is historical fiction. The characters were written in a really, really sort of interesting way. The world was very interesting. And, we had always heard about all the content that we've seen, whether it's in the movies or on shows and stuff, is about the Mughals when they were in India. But how they got here and what happened before they got here was something that I had not read about. And that was in the book. So I found the book to be really interesting. And coincidentally, I got a call from Nikhil about 4 months later, saying that he had bought the rights of the book and he had adapted it into a script. And I went to meet him, read the script, and I thought the script had actually enhanced the book and, taken the best bits of the book and made it better. And I felt like this is a role I have to do.
Nice. So, Drashti, these boys are used to doing dangerous stunts. Did you show them what you're made of? Did you do some action, some horse riding classes? How did that turn out?
I did want a good fight scene, but clearly didn't happen. But yes, I did train. I did a little bit of horse riding. And it was fun. It was scary initially because I saw all of them falling off the horse. And I refused to. I was like, I don't want to train. It's okay. But then I did go for a couple of days and I did 1-2 scenes on the horse. And it was fun. Something different.
So like you trained on the set or did you go to Mahalakshmi Racecourse here for a couple of days?
So we went to the Mahalakshmi Racecourse and we trained on the set as well. They made a little corner on our set. That was our set, right? The Madbekistan, I was going to say. This set. So yeah, I did train on both the sets.
They always say befriend your horse. You remember what your horse was called?
Yeah, Rocky.
Nice. Rocky as in Rocky Balboa.
Mine was called Bijli.
Bijli. So
Yeah.
they got Rocky and Bijli. What did you get, Mr. Morea?
I can't remember the name of my filly actually.
I think yours was Chanda or something like that.
The white one was called Bijli.
White one was my horse.
No. There was Bijli was one white and there was another white. I can't remember.
Bijli and Bijli Junior.
Aisa kuch.
The name will come to you. The name will come to you, Dino. So, did you take some acting or diction classes from Shabana Azmi? Dino, we all know she's the finest. How did that go? And demonstrate. What's a wonderful word in Urdu that you picked up?
Khanzada.
What?
Khanzada. It's a name. It's her
Khanzada.
Her name is Drashti's name in the show.
Ah.
name.
Okay.
Khubsurat.
Oops.
But as you said, Shabana ji is an absolute legend. Not that I had too many scenes with her, but the few scenes I had with her were just beautiful. Because we were against each other, so that made it even more challenging. I was nervous. At the same time, when I'm nervous and I like a challenge, I try to give it my best. So it was good, and the language in this show is beautiful. Urdu is a stunning language. It's just so poetic and so musical to the ears. So all the words, most of the words in the writing of the show are in Urdu, and it just sounded. I think it sounds beautiful. You'll hear it.
And the thing about Shabana ji is when you meet her for the first time, she's very intimidating. So you think she's stoic and things like that. And then when you hang out more with her, you just realize she's lots of fun, man. You know,
Yeah,
she's just...
totally. She's great fun to be around.
Actually, when she talks, you don't want to talk. You want to just keep listening to how she's talking because it just sounds so amazing. And the first time, of course, we all shot with her. I was like, oh my God. But it didn't matter. Like, she just came out saying my line and she started correcting me. She's like, nahi beta, ye yakeen hota, yakeen nahi hota. So she just started, it was just there. And then like in my clothes also, she's like, nahi beta, ek aur kar lo. So she didn't realize where the director who was saying what, she was standing in front of me and she's like, no, I think you can do one more. And she made me do do the scene again. She's like, no, now it's okay. Now it's okay.
Nice. Kunal, I remember reading stories of the Mughal Empire in school and you know, thinking Jahangir the Just was someone I like. Akbar, whom your dear buddy Hrithik Roshan played, is again somebody, you know, was inspiring. Aurangzeb was always the black sheep, the wicked one who we didn't like. Is there an interesting Mughal other than Babur? I don't want you to say Babur. Another interesting Mughal that you thought was quite a cool emperor, and why?
I mean, from all accounts that we have, I think Akbar is the one that everybody thinks is the cool one, and Akbar is the one that you know, we've read the most about, that the most content has been made about, most of the shows have been made about. So I think I'll have to go with Akbar. I think I think I think it would have to be Akbar.
I think it has to be Akbar because you know, they used to feature this show called Akbar Birbal on Dino.
Right, when we were growing up as well.
We used to all watch it, and I used to love watching it. So I think
and they were quite a cool duo, you know, Akbar and Birbal. Like, you know, he'd ask a paheli and things like that.
Correct.
And you know, there'll always be a lesson at the end of it. And I think Akbar also because he was secular, you know, which is amazing, and that's what the country needed at that time, still needs, which I think is great. Drashti, visual effects can be layered and added on later, but you still got to have at least 100 people on the ground while filming battle scenes. So junior artists, main actors, how did you guys manage filming during the pandemic? I'm just a little curious.
So I was not a part of any of the war scenes.
You want to take that, Dino? You want to just tell me how you know, you managed to achieve all of that during a lockdown?
So, okay. I was in a very few one or two action scenes actually. During the lockdown, I must say that the entire unit had their masks on. So we didn't shoot during the lockdown. Whenever things opened up a little bit, when we were given permissions to shoot, then we go out and shoot. Obviously, there was a lot of protocol to follow. There was sanitization of the entire set. There was everybody on the set. Every technician had to wear their masks except for the actors. And the actors too, once you finish a take, you put your mask on. So there was a lot of rules followed, and it was a large set, a lot of people, but the way everyone stuck to the rules and was so proper about it, I don't think there were any cases of COVID on our set or anyone after that.
Yeah, I don't think we had any.
Go home, people used to come back. We were tested very often. So fortunately, these guys took this really serious. The protocol was followed and everything went well during our shoot.
That's really nice to know. But, you know, it is a monumental achievement, you know, to film. You know, stuff like this, interviews and stuff can happen from home, but you got to get your feet on the ground and hit it running. So that's quite cool. What I also seem to fathom from the teaser and the trailer is that women are manipulating a lot of things in this show. And Drashti, to me, that's really interesting because traditionally in Indian cinema or even mythology, it's always the Shakuni Mama or, you know, the evil Mama or somebody else manipulating it. And, you know, clearly Shabana Azmi has a very important role in that aspect. You have. So you want to talk about that, you know, just the prominence of women characters really doing all the puppeteering.
So what I really like is how subtly Shabana ji or my character has put across what they want, and finally what we want has only happened. We've influenced Babar and Shabani so subtly that they've not even realized that we are the mastermind and we are making them do what we want them to do. and they're just doing it because they think that, yeah, okay, she is making sense. But am I correct, Kunal?
It sounds like every man.
I was just going to say that.
But Kunal and Babar and Khanzada, they both are brother and sisters, and Babar actually confines a lot in Khanzada. So, she tells him the next plan or how it's supposed. There is an argument also that's happening between the both of us, but in the end, he does listen to what Khanzada is saying.
End. Don't say end.
No spoil. Kunal, I want to talk a little bit about the director and the writer. I don't know if do you actors go into the writing room sometimes, or is it just something that the writers do and then you're given the script and things like that? Because a writing room for something like this might be pretty amazing, because I'm given to understand there's a lady director, there's a lady writer, a host of them putting things together. You want to just tell me a little bit about the writing and the direction, please?
So the writing piece, the writing piece was already over and done with by the time I think any one of us was part of the film, of the show. So we really never had a chance to get into the writing bit. But with the directors, what was very, very interesting is, there's two people that directed the show. One is Nikhil, who's also the showrunner, and then there's Mitakshara, who's making a debut with the show. And they both have very, very different approaches. Nikhil is somebody who enjoys chaos. He enjoys shooting in a very sort of guerrilla style. So when you go on a set where Nikhil is shooting, it's always chaotic. It's all happening really fast. There's, people running around. There's noise. There's, action. That's how it's going. And then you go on a set which Mitakshara is directing on, and it's like you've gone for Vipassana. It's all very quiet. And it's all very detail-oriented. So it's two very, very different approaches. And as an actor, when you're working with two directors with completely different approaches on the same show and the same character, it becomes very, very sort of interesting to explore.
That's very beautifully explained. Dino, you want to add to that? I mean, really, sometimes I wonder if Nikhil gets any time to sleep. Look at the number of shows
crazy.
He's doing.
He's just absolutely crazy. I don't know how he does it.
I look at interview rosters these days going, oh, okay, Nikhil's in this interview. But the next day is, oh, no, but I already finished Nikhil's interview. Oh, dude, it's for another project. And I'm like, okay. And then 2 days again, there's a roster with Nikhil for another project. So I'm like, dude.
Crazy part about Nikhil is that whether it's 2 o'clock in the night, whether it's 4 o'clock in the morning, whether it's whatever set he's on, he's just so enthusiastic. He's just always switched on. And I don't know how he does it. I've asked him so many times, how do you do this? It's almost not human what he does.
Dino, you want to add to that?
I think MA Entertainment's on a roll right now, and because the work that they're coming out with is really good. The content that they're creating is fantastic. I can understand Nikhil's space right now, because if I had that going on right now, I'd also be so excited. The energy would be beautiful. I love working. I'm a workaholic. So for me, something like this energy, this ambience, producing great content, acting in some good stuff is something I love. I cherish. I thrive on it. Coming back to your earlier question about the directors, as Kunal said, they're like Zameen Asman ka farak. Seriously, because Mitakshara is outstanding. She's fantastic. Her attention to detail is mind-boggling. So you'd be getting ready for a scene, and like Shabana ji mentioned in an earlier interview, that the director will walk towards you and you think, okay, she's coming to dress you, but she's walked past you and she's going to correct a cushion or something at the back,
Detailing.
Her attention to detail is amazing. And she comes, I hate to say this, but she comes from a school, Mr. Bansali school. And so she's got that energy with her. Nikhil, on the other hand, is just this chaos, this madness. But he manages to capture the most amazing scene, So it was lovely to work with both of them. It was an absolute pleasure. The script was always, and the script was ready, but there's always lines you're changing here and there, making it better, refining it. It's always a work in progress. And ultimately, I think we've come up with something fabulous, which you guys will thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah, man, it just looks so grand. I don't even want to call it those stale things like the Indian Game of Thrones and this and that. It's the Empire. It's just looking lovely. Drashti, since he talked about detailing, I love the costumes and the styling. They're just so opulent and grand and things like that. You want to just take me through that? Who are the people in that department and how you worked with them to give you the right look?
So the most amazing part, I think, was when they did a look test with me. They actually had the clothes ready. It wasn't like, oh, they made for someone and then we'll decide once we go on board, we'll figure they exactly knew what looks they wanted. So Sheetal, who was our stylist and designer on board, he exactly had a vision with Mitaksha and Nikhil and the hair and makeup team, Nikita and Forum. They all sat together. They exactly knew what they wanted when they see a Khanzada. If they wanted a scar, they exactly knew what the scar should look like. If I had to wear a hat, it's not a hat, mukut, whatever you call it. They exactly knew what kind is going to look nice. Before we went on set, they had done such a detailed look test that they knew that, oh, her hair doesn't look nice like this, so we're not going to do this in any scene. This strand has to come here because this looks nice on her face, they would exactly know that, okay, so we're doing this because that we saw in the look test looks nice. So I think it was done to so much precision that, and of course, the all credit goes to Mitaksha, Nikita, Forum, and Sheetal for making me look how I looked in the show.
Kunal, here's this show. Everybody's really looking forward to the central characters, which is you guys. But I also see snippets in the trailer of some really interesting actors. I mean, Imad comes in and goes. Right. There's Aditya Seal. You want to just tell me a little bit about the supporting cast? A few people, since they're not represented here, who do you think are people to look out for? Who you think have done a great job?
I think all of them actually. There's Imad who plays a character called Qasim. There's Aditya who plays my son. There's Seher who plays my wife. Girish, who's my trusted man. Rahul Dev, who's a man I learn lots from. So all of them, I think they've all done. Turanj, who's also playing my wife. So all of them, I think, have done incredibly well. And this was something that Amir had told me long back. He had said that for a film to work, it's important that every character works. It's not important that only your character works. So your focus should be that my work should be great, and then I'm not really interested in what else is happening. Which is why I think all his films are so wonderful, because every character has space, and every character is cast appropriately, and every character is really important in the scheme of things. And I think that's what makes the Empire so special. It's not only about the so-called lead actors, but it's also about each and every actor that comes in, even for the smallest part. And a lot of thought has been put into casting those characters. So I think that's really what makes the show so special, is that everyone's done a really fantastic job.
That's very beautifully put. So actors always tell me it's wonderful playing vile and evil. Do you know? You think so? And how evil and vile is this guy really? I mean, is there an animal instinct, or is it just somebody who's evil because of circumstances? Just a character insight.
So yes, playing vile and evil obviously is just juicier. It's nicer. I honestly feel there's no limitations to a character playing that part. There's a madness you can bring in, which could be anything. You can surprise audiences with just about anything, and they will accept it because you're mad and you're evil. Shehbani Khan is that person. Yes, he has a small history as to why he became so, but he is absolutely that person. And when we were discussing the character, me and Mitaksha, I had this approach of associating characters, especially wild and evil ones, with animals. And we decided that he'd be a Black Panther. So,
whoa.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a stealth in which he walks. There's a prowl. There's a cunningness. There's beauty in watching it. At the same time, you could let it pass you, or you never know if it's going to attack you, right? So that's the madness of Shehbani Khan. And I honestly watched a lot of YouTube videos and some National Geography just to understand this animal and to see how I can best imbibe in and use those characteristic traits with Shehbani Khan. Even a little, maybe a growl in the voice every now and then. We try something really fantastic, and I hope everyone enjoys the madness that we've tried to bring about. So yeah, for me, crazy, mad, evil characters, no limitations, just is a challenge. Makes you sort of. I mean, people will like it I hope people will like it when they see that there's no limitations to any actor when they play these parts.
So he thinks of animals. Drashti, what's your process? Are you just instinctive, or you're like a method actor like he is?
I just go with the flow.
Whatever works, yeah.
I can't even rehearse. Like, even in the rehearsals, if they would put like 80%, I can't. I can only do it when I hear action and I'm in front of the camera. It's only that's when I can act. Otherwise,
TV style.
Huh?
TV style.
Yeah, totally. I can't. Like
soap style.
So yeah, and that's a life.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's hard work. I mean, friends of mine who are TV actors work harder than anybody else, man. You do like long shifts and things like that.
I worked a little bit on my diction for sure, a lot in fact, but otherwise it just went with the flow. I just kept listening to what my directors wanted, what Mitakshara wanted, because Nikhil sir was more like, do whatever you want. And after every scene, every cut, I would look at him, I'm like, so was it okay? He said, you liked it? I'm like, no, it's not about me. You have to like it. No, if you like it, it's okay. I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. You have to tell me if it's okay or not. So yeah, it was very different working with both of them. But yeah, I just went with the flow. I just kept listening to what they want and I just kept doing that.
Lovely. My time is up. Hey, Dino, how's the football going? You're back. You must be a happy man. The moment you're back on the pitch, I saw some pictures and I said, Dino Morea is a happy man.
That's my piece. That's my stress buster. I just love it.
Lovely. Bye, Kunal. Bye, Drashti. Bye, Dino.
Bye.
Can't wait to see it, man. Cheers. Thank you. Bye.
Take care, buddy. Bye.
Bye, guys.
94.3 Radio 1. One world, your station.